I definitely know why you're here. You want to know how I was able to get this in Dubai. This is a 10-year golden visa, and in this video I'm going to be walking you through the entire journey, the entire process on how I moved to Dubai, what inspired me to move here, how I started, what was my first job, and basically for you to really understand. So if you really want to know how I got this, and maybe you too you can get it, it is important for you to stick around until the end of this video. So how did I move to Dubai? That's the first question. The date was on the 18th of April in 2018. Over 7 years ago was when I first stepped foot on the Emirati soil with the goal to build a career here and build a dream and a life here. I remember very well, I landed here. It was around 9 a.m. in the morning, and ever since that day everything changed, probably for the better, I hope so. I only had my suitcase. That's all I had. So when I landed here, of course, I was on a tourist visa. Back then these visas were 3 months long visas. I remember very well entering into Dubai airport. It was terminal 2 because I came with a Dubai flight. So we entered. I remember the immigration guy stamping, and he said in Arabic, "Welcome to the UAE." So I entered the UAE. Then what was next? Of course, the next thing was to tour, because my visa was a 3 months tourist visa. Back then visas were a little bit longer. They were 3 months, and you had all of the time to tour and explore this beautiful country. I remember going to Dubai Mall, seeing the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. I was really super mesmerized. And then I remember some of the days I could go to the beach in Jumeirah, but also at night I remember very well, and apply for opportunities. I could go back to my accommodation, where I was staying, and try to apply for jobs, because I felt like I never really wanted to leave this country behind. I never really wanted to go back to Uganda. Don't get me wrong, Uganda is a beautiful country. It has a lot of opportunities. It has beautiful nature. It's a country, it's where my people are, it's where it's where I grew up. It's a beautiful country. I love it. But I never wanted to leave the UAE, because I felt like this was the place where I personally belonged. I was this kind of person who had ambition. I was this kind of person who was ready to build something from zero, grow all the way throughout. So I could go back to my accommodation every single night. I could apply for jobs, for opportunities, and I was lucky that I got something to do. It wasn't the best thing that I wanted, but I was like, Alhamdulillah, this was an opportunity, and I did seize it. When I got that opportunity, I got it with 2 hands. It was in a company in Sharjah, but unfortunately that company had to let me go because we couldn't find a common ground in terms of agreement, or in terms of where we both wanted to align better. So what I did, as my visa was about to expire, I went to Oman. Back then these were really very helpful. You could fly, go to Oman, sleep in the airport, and wait for your new visa to come. Once it's approved, you fly back into the country and start hunting the job again. So that's exactly what happened. I flew to Oman, to Muscat. I remember I spent there a night. I was very lucky that my visa came after like 24 hours. Then I flew back to the country and I started looking for a job. I had used all my first 3 months to tour around the country. I had almost seen every single corner of Dubai. The second time I came back on a tourist visa, I was really determined to only focus on one thing: get a job opportunity. On the first day that I landed back in the country, I started applying for jobs right away. Apply, and I got a job in Sharjah. I got a job. It wasn't the most high-paying job. It wasn't a 10,000 dirham salary job. It wasn't a 5,000 dirham salary job. But can you guess what it was? It was an office boy. I was 20 years old. I didn't have experience. I didn't have a university degree. I had never worked for a company before. This was my first opportunity. And when I got it, I was like, yep, let me take this opportunity with 2 hands. So I was just 20 years old. I was very young. I didn't have any ties. I didn't have a family to support. I didn't have a wife. I didn't have kids. I still don't have kids. Back then, being 20 years old, you don't have many obligations. Right now, I do have quite a lot of obligations. I have so many things that I handle. But back then, getting any job would really do make things work. So I got a job as an office boy in Sharjah. I was invited. I went, did the interview. We discussed the visa, and then I had to wait for my employment visa to come out. My visa came out, I joined the company, and I started working as an office boy. Inside me, I really wanted to be a content creator. I really wanted to be a videographer. I was working for very less money. It was 1,500 dirhams per month. But for me, I was very happy. I was very optimistic. I was very happy simply because I knew that something better is going to come for me. Secondly, I was very optimistic because I knew that this was just a phase in my life, and I was really happy for that phase to happen. That really gave me the experience that I have today. I did work as an office boy for around 1 year, 1.5 years. It was around 1.5 ish, 2 years. I saved up a lot of money. It wasn't a lot of money back then because I had to pay for my accommodation, which back then it was a shared accommodation with my friends that I had made in the country. You could pay for rent. You can understand how much that was, and then save up some money because I wanted to be a creator. I wanted to invest into myself and grow and get to the level where I want to be in life. Every month I could dump around, I could get my 1,500 dirhams, and I could dump around, I could use 500 dirhams, pay 350 for a bed, eat 150 dirhams or 200 dirhams in a single month, and then save like 1,000 dirhams, leave it on my account, save it. And then I started to see my savings grow, over time. After 6 months, I had saved up some money. I went to a place called J&P Signal in Sharjah and bought a second-hand laptop. It was a Toshiba laptop. Then I remember going back to my accommodation where I was staying and sat into my bed and installed Adobe Premiere Pro. I was like, from today onwards, I'm going to try and build a career into content creation. I'm going to try and, learn video editing. I didn't know anything at all, like nothing. I was like blunt. That was in late 2018. And then I was like, I'm going to give myself the entire year of 2019 to basically learn how to edit videos. Over time, I started to gradually improve. I would go back to my office boy job, do whatever I was supposed to do, go back into my shared bed with my friends and, practice, learn Adobe Premiere Pro, look for inspiration. And I do remember following some content creators on social media, like Parker Walbeck, Peter McKinnon, and all of these YouTubers, because I wanted to really learn and grow and, understand how they do their thing. Fast forward to 2019, mid-2019, I had bought a Samsung phone. I went to a shop in Sharjah. There's a place called Roller in Sharjah. If you've been to Sharjah Roller, you definitely 100% know this place. And so I went there to a shop in Sharjah Roller, and back then, iPhones were very expensive. With my 1,500 salary, getting an iPhone was really feasible back then. That was like 1 year fast forward to me arriving into the country, 1 year, of me working as an office boy, hustling my way out. I went to this place in Sharjah. I told the guy to give me a Samsung Galaxy phone. Back then it was an S8. To really tell you that things were really bad, I couldn't afford a new Samsung Galaxy phone. I bought a second-hand Samsung Galaxy S8 smartphone. It was an older model, and on top of that, it was a second-hand phone. So you can imagine how terrible, the financial situation was. Back then I was working really quite long hours, so I didn't get time during the day to go out and film content. And I would go to one place called the Cornish in Sharjah just to teach myself how to shoot videos, because this was, the only better looking place, accessible, better looking place that was near to my accommodation. So fast forward to 2019, I had really started to become better at videography. I had really mastered the art of, making content in the way that is, appealing to the user cinematically. This is where I decided to make the bold decision of my life, right? The good thing was that I was in good terms with my boss. What I did was I did go up to my boss and showed him the videos that I was making. And I told him that I could offer, making videos for the company for free, without any payment, without anything, because I knew that if I had this opportunity, I would prove myself and grow into that company. So I started making videos with my phone that I had bought, and I would go back home at night and edit these videos and, share them with the boss on WhatsApp. It wasn't just to impress the boss, by the way. And also the boss gave me the opportunity to step out of who I was and try to shine. This was 1 year later. I would go do the errands, and during my break time, I would go shoot videos in the shop. Later on, go back at night and edit these videos, and share them to the boss. For me, I always had this one thing in my head: money is gonna come as end product if I do my job well. So the first thing the boss told me was that you're really getting better after some time. They decided to reduce my work hours and gave me more time to make video content for the company. Now I'll go with my laptop at work, sit there, edit content, shoot and edit content, but at the same time still do my stuff. Fast forward to my contract nearing its end, I decided to tell the boss that I'm gonna resign from that position. I told the boss that I'm going to resign from that position simply because I felt like I wanted something better. I wanted to really go full on and become a videographer, not content creator yet, but become a videographer. So the boss really kind of first rejected it. I did leave the job. So I went back to Uganda. I had bought a drone. Back then it was the DJI Mavic Mini 1. If you are a content creator or if you're familiar with drones and cameras, you can really know what the Mavic Mini 1 looks like. It was the drone that I could afford, but also it was like the newest model from DJI back then in 2019. So I bought it and went with it back to Uganda. I had saved up more money and I had invested in a gimbal. And on top of that, I had also invested in a camera. It was a Canon M50. It was a very beginner basic starter camera that I had invested in. I went to Uganda, and with some money, I was able to travel around the country, shoot videos, practice and get better at videography and content creation in general. 2 months later, I came back to Dubai and I came back to the same company, and I proposed a new offer. I was like, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna work as an office boy anymore. What I wanna do now is I want to work as a content creator, as a videographer for your company. I wanna be the one taking photos. I wanna be the one who's, shooting videos. I don't wanna work as an office boy anymore because I think my skills have gotten better as a videographer, and that's what I wanted to do. I was lucky because I had good terms with the CEO of the company, and he did acknowledge my request and offer, and he was like, okay, let us start working together. And just like that, I grew, and then I started making videos and photos for the company, and every single day that came, my videos improved, my photos improved, and the CEO of the company was really impressed. Remember, I always had a good relationship with him. So what happened next was he drastically as well increased my salary, and I was able to buy better camera, a better gimbal, and better invest into myself. So that was how I started from zero to becoming a videographer. And then as a videographer, I worked for the company for another extra 1.5 years. So that's coming close to 3 years of me in Dubai. Now here comes, something that really changed everything, for good. And that was the opportunity at NAS Daily. I think the first job that I got as an office boy did change my life. So by the way, I forgot to mention, my English was good. My computer skills were really good as well. And then I was moved to the front desk because first of all, I could, speak a little bit of basic Arabic. And secondly, I was very knowledgeable about how computers work. So that helped me to move to the front desk. I did go into videography for the company and content creation for the company as well. So coming back to the opportunity at NAS Daily. While I was working for this company, I had grown, I had become a content creator for the company. I was the videographer. I was in charge of, creating content for the socials, the videos, the photos, and, the designs and all of that. So one day I saw a post from NAS. He had posted that he was hiring a videographer in Dubai to come and join the team. So my friends did tag me in the post, and some of them actually did slide into my DMs telling me, you're in Dubai, you can apply to work with this guy. He's a famous guy. So I did apply to join the hackathon, and I was invited. Do you remember very well when I went to Uganda and made content throughout the entire country? I had edited a video that was really good. It was very cinematic. It was a good cinematic video with good transitions and good editing. Like, I had really gotten good. The video looks something like this. You can check it out from the channel if you wanna really see that video. And then I didn't know that this video would impress Nusaya, who is NAS Daily. I did apply, and then they did review all the videos, and he was really impressed with the video that I had edited. So I was invited to the NAS Daily office. That was in Emirates Towers back then. To my surprise, when I did go to the hackathon, Nusaya, or NAS, he already knew me because of the video that I had made in Uganda, and like, he was impressed with edit. So he knew me by memory because I think from that. So we did edit the videos at the hackathon, and I won the hackathon. The hackathon was, we basically came together. We were like 10,000 or more people applied to get. They were filtered out to like 1,000 people, and then to 100 people, and then to 50 people who came to the hackathon. And I was part of those 50 people who came to the hackathon. I did win the hackathon. My video was the best video out of that hackathon, and I started working with NAS. When I started working at NAS, I started in the academy, so I didn't really get to work with Nusaya. And then 1 year later, I did move to NAS Studios. And in NAS Studios, this would really give me the opportunity that would make me the content creator. This would really give me the opportunity to really learn the art of storytelling, the art of video creating, the art of how, really what goes into the NAS Daily style of content creation. I was lucky that as a videographer, I got the opportunity to go and to get close and start working with Nusaya directly. So go to all these places in Dubai. I would be the one, I would be the cameraman, I would be the one to shoot the videos. I would be the one, you know, I didn't edit much, but I did edit a few videos, but there was a team that was mainly editing. And I did get a chance to start seeing how Nusaya speaks on camera, how he writes his scripts, how he shoots his videos, how he basically comes up with the ideas. One day we were casually chatting and he told me, you should try to do content. You can try the Nas Daily style, it works. So I went back, I repurposed some of my old videos about Uganda and did them in a similar format. They did work. I remember I posted my first video on TikTok and it got like 7,000 views. I was getting 300 views. It got 7,000 views. That's when I was like, oh wow, it's time for me to become a content creator. And then I posted another video and it got 12,000 views, and I posted another video and it got 50,000 views. I was like, wow, now I'm going to focus as well on becoming a content creator, not just a videographer. So over the course of the years at NAS, you know, we would go make videos for the government, make videos for all these big companies, go fly to places like Mecca, or I flew to like Nigeria to shoot NAS Daily videos, or I flew to Oman to shoot NAS Daily videos. This was an opportunity that would really turn me into the content creator that I am today. And I'm very grateful for that opportunity because I learned what works on social media and I did implement that as well onto my social media and I saw the results. So fast forward to my journey as a content creator, I started, you know, I was lucky that there were shoots that were conducted outside of Dubai. Like went to Nigeria to shoot NAS Daily videos there. I flew to Uganda and I shot a video about this engineer in Kampala, Uganda. Flew to Saudi Arabia to shoot videos, flew to Oman to shoot videos, traveled around the UAE to shoot videos. It was an opportunity of a lifetime. I think it's a huge part of why I'm here as a content creator today. So that happened, shoot videos, you know, I learned. Fast forward to 2025, I had to step away from the job. This was also after I felt like I had grown enough, because at the time of me leaving the job, I had around 200,000 followers. And during my journey at NAS, I do remember every time, let's say I was sent to a crew like Nigeria, I could make a video for NAS, and if I get a few hours, 1 or 2 or 3 or even 30 minutes, I could go and shoot a quick video for my Instagram as well. So that was an opportunity as well that I did leverage on. If I was sent to Oman, I could, you know, shoot a short video as well there for myself. If I was sent to Rwanda, Kigali, I could get maybe a day, if I'm still there for a day, take an hour or two, shoot a quick video for myself as well. And that really helped me to grow as a content creator. So now let's talk about this, the Golden Visa, the big elephant in the room. How did I get it? The way I got it was through Creators HQ. I had worked as a content creator, I had built my own portfolio, but for me, I still made content because I love to make content. I love to tell stories. I love to show the good side of the world. I love to show the good side of Nigeria. I love to show the good side of Rwanda. I love to show the good side of Uganda. I love to show the good side of Dubai. You know, because of those videos, I was able to grow, got a following on social media. It wasn't just about the following. Impact is very, very important. This year I started my online community where I basically share knowledge with people on how to become content creators. When the government of Dubai did open up Creators HQ as a hub to empower, you know, creatives within the region and within the country, I did apply through Creators HQ. The process was very straightforward and of course, you know, simple, and that's how I was able to get this residency. I cannot go deeper into details on what you need to do, on how you need to apply, on how you need to curate your portfolio or any of that, because every person's journey is different and every person's portfolio is different. But for me, I applied through Creators HQ, and as a creative, I got accepted. And even if it wouldn't have been about the Golden Visa, I would still have applied to Creators HQ because I think it is the best creator hub right now, where you can meet people who are ahead of you and learn from them. It's the place where you can meet and surround yourself with people who are just like you. It's the best place right now to be as a content creator. You meet like-minded people, you get to meet people who are better at what they do, you get to meet people who have really mastered their craft. So for me, even if it wasn't about the visa, I would still take my membership and be part of that community and learn and continue to grow along my journey as a content creator. So if you have any specific questions regarding how you want to get this Golden Visa, you can go to this Instagram and send me a message. I would be more than happy to share my experience. But at the same time, I think if you would really love to know more about the Creators HQ, what they do, I would recommend checking when their next open day is. You'll visit them and get to inquire, understand better on how they can empower you and support you as a creator. It's a very supportive hub, and I'm so glad that we have it here in Dubai. So that was my story as a creator. You know how I started, you know how I moved to Dubai, you know how I became a creator, you know how I grew on social media, you know how I got the Golden Visa. Thank you so much for watching. This video is a little bit longer. If you have any specific questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. But for now, take care, much love, and of course, Salam Alaikum.